Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, we need to talk about this Miss Linda Stermer. Honey, so much tea has come out on the stand about Miss Linda. Oh, let's get into it. But first, you know what you need to do. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. That helps other people find us. Also, find me on Instagram. Where am I? Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Look, Linda Stermer. Okay. So on the stand, the state calls this fire inspector, right? And I was like, okay, this is going to be boring, dry testimony where he gets up and he's like, I'm the inspector and I inspect for fire and things look burned. Either she gets a check or she doesn't get a check from the insurance company. No, honey, no, that is not at all how that works. Turns out the insurance company hires a fire inspector who's super duper nosy. He about to ask Linda all of the nosy questions. I think he probably asked her more questions than the police. And I was like, yes, Mr. Fire Inspector, tell me every single thing, because me and the other curtain twitchers, child, we nosy and we want to know her personal business. And this man on a tape recorded every word she said. Oh, he was nice. He was charming. He was personable. He's also an attorney. So he's a little bit slick and he knew how to just keep sliding in the good questions. So I was like, who knew fire inspectors did such a deep dive? And so while Linda was talking, first she was probably a little bit nervous. She's there with her lawyer, so she feels all protected or whatever. And then she did the thing the suspects everywhere do. And I honestly don't think they are aware that they're doing it in the moment, but every single time they do it, the unfortunate unaliver always trashes the victim. Not always, but generally trashes the victim. Now listen, I'm not trying to help nobody who's committing crimes, but if you are committing a crime, what you should, against another person, you should be like, I loved him so much. He was the miracle of my life. Oh my goodness, how am I going to go on? See, that's what real grieving looks and sounds like. Linda was like, I loved him, but Todd had some issues. Ma'am, no, shh, shh, shh. Linda, oh Lord, she fails shut up class so bad, but it is spectacular for me as a nosy lady here on the internet. The little tidbits that she dropped about Todd, just in conversation. You know how you be talking and you just drop things in conversation? She was like, he had addiction issues. Oh, okay, wow, okay. The fire inspector was like, say more. Please, I'm writing down every single thing. He didn't even have to write it because he was running a videotape. He was like, Linda was like, there was domestic violence in our life. The night before the fire, he tried to intimately assault me and stuff. It was terrible. We had money trouble. He was lazy. He didn't like to work. I don't know what I was going to do. He said he was leaving me. He was trying to get the kids to go with him. He was in debt to all his friends and family. I'm like, Linda, girl, say less. Now that you done told us all Todd's dirty business, tell us a little bit about you, ma'am. You seem to be super duper chatty, and clearly your shut up classes have failed you miserably. And I'm here for every moment of it. So then Linda talks about herself. She's just like, well, I was a hardworking lady. I had a job. I'm trying to support the family, even though his raggedy behind is over here not working and using narcotics of assorted varieties. Okay, ma'am. I think he was using weed. I don't know that he was using a bunch of other stuff, but he did have an ear infection and he got some medication for that. That was making him a little loopy or whatever. Child, back 18 years ago, they was probably giving you fentanyl for an ear infection. I don't even know. Anyway, so Linda had a curly horse rescue. Oh, that seems so nice. Also, what is a curly horse? What's curly? The tail, the mane, what's curly? So I had to go down a rabbit hole of Googling curly horses. Turns out it's a horse that looks like a poodle. All of its hair is curly all over. They're hypoallergenic. I didn't know people could be allergic to horses, but I didn't know that you could get, it's like the doodle of horses. She got a horsey doodle? Okay, so she had a horsey doodle rescue, and she had horses periodically and from time to time. Please hold, I done already talked my throat dry. She was over there with her horsey doodle rescue with the hypoallergenic horses. That's crazy. She had at one point 30 horses. 30 horses. That's a lot of horses. That's a lot of feed. That's a lot of everything. That's a lot of horses. Oh, but guess what? She didn't have a barn. Girl, what you doing with 30? Are they in the house? What are you doing with 30 horses? 30 horses just out here in the pasture with no barn. And you say, he's financially irresponsible? I don't. Linda girl, you might want to look in the mirror. I think both of y'all was a whole mess. The way she painted this marriage, it was clearly toxic. They were clearly dysfunctional. It's not that surprising that she unfortunately unalived him. Oh yeah, initially I was like, the state can't prove it. I think Linda and her gorgeous hair are gonna go free. Y'all, this hair going to prison. Linda about to be convicted. She was convicted the first time, and then her conviction was overturned, and then she was out free in these streets for 8 years, and now her trial has come back up again. Y'all, Linda going to prison. Linda gonna spend the rest of her life in prison. I hope she enjoyed her 8 free years, but as far as I can tell right now, Linda girl, bye. Listen, if she did the crime, she needs to do the time. I'm super duper sad that hair is going to prison. I don't think that hair deserves to be locked up. Can they shave it first? Maybe that's cruel. Anyway, so other little facts we found out about Linda, this is from her friend and neighbors or whatever. All the valuables in the house were removed from the house prior to the fire. She did what? One of the friends was like, I was in the barn and I moved a box. I found a box that was filled with framed pictures of all the kids and everything, and she had jewelry in her car. Ma'am, you're a little bit too obvious. Little bit too obvious. Just a little bit. So then the fire inspector gets off the stand, and I was like, thank you, sir. You had all the tea. It was scalding hot. I was living for every single moment of your testimony. Who could be better than this fire inspector? Oh, wait. Former friend Kate Fox takes the stand. Yo, Kate Fox's testimony was everything. It was everything. I thought the fire inspector was spilling tea. Honey, the fire inspector didn't know half the story. Kate Fox, former friend, gets on the stand. Now, you know who you don't want on the stand testifying against you? Your former BFF. You know why? Because you done told this heifer everything. And at the time, she put it in the vault. She didn't say nothing. But then you made her mad. And now here she is to spill all of your tea. Every last drop. As a note to everyone, just be a good friend. Your friends might help you get away with an unfortunate unaliving, although really sincerely from the bottom of my heart, don't be unfortunately unaliving people. That's terrible. Also, I think you might burn in hell or something. And go to jail. Who needs all of that? The low threat count on the sheets. Ooh, black Jesus, I can't take it. Anyway, Kate Fox gets on the stand and she's just like, Kate had an affair. Kate says Linda had an affair. And I was like, okay, people have affairs, whatever. Now, they had the affair partner up there. And he was like, look, prior to Kate, the boyfriend came up. He's like, I wasn't even really feeling her like that. But she kept chasing me around. So, ultimately, I had to Uchi her coochie. And, it was fine. It went on for like 6 months. And then I moved on with my life because, she's a married lady and I'm not into married chicks. But she was giving it up out of both draw legs and I'm weak. So what you want from me? So I was like, okay, so we already knew about Mr. Chris, her little lover on the side, Mr. Lover Man. Oh, also come to find out, after she unfortunately unalived her husband, she continued the affair for 6 months. Sir, you don't like married ladies, but then her husband passes away and you were comforting her with your nether regions. Okay, cool. I guess that's one way to comfort somebody. Finally, he was like, you're too murdery. And a little bit clingy, so thank you, no. And then he went on about his business. Anyway, the former best friend gets on the stand, and she was salty. Oh, she was salty. And I was like, I'm leaning in, ma'am. Please tell me all her business. So she was just like, Linda was having an affair. Me and her used to work together, and we were on second shift together. We were friends, and our kids knew each other, and everything was good. And she told me, she tried to get me to introduce her to Chris. And I was like, I don't think he really wants you like that, girl, because he's not into married ladies. Turns out, maybe he wasn't into married ladies, but other parts of him was super duper, literally into this married lady. And so Kate is like, Linda told me Chris was the best lover she ever had. Oh, did Todd know? Linda also told us Kate also told us that Linda had a secret squirrel phone. Y'all know what a secret squirrel phone is. You know them little phones, a burner phone, you be buying the phone and then you be hiding it and stuff. Sometimes Linda hid the secret squirrel phone over at Kate's house. And so Linda went and opened a P.O. box and was just like, okay, Kate girl, my phone bill for the secret squirrel phone is going to go to my P.O. box. I got some secret credit cards and other stuff. Can you just go get the mail out of my P.O. box? Okay. I don't think, listen, if my best friend wants to have an affair, I'd be like, okay, girl, I would advise against that, but it's not my business. No, what I'm not going to do is aid and abet your affair. Nope. I don't want no parts of it. Now, if you want to tell me about it, I'm certainly going to listen because I'm that kind of messy. But I'm just like, girl, no, not at all. But Miss Kate was like, okay. But now that we talking about Miss Linda, let me tell you what else. She said one time, Linda called me and was just like, I'm so sick of him. And I'm like, here we go. Because when you get mad at your partner, you call your girlfriend and you say all the things. Ooh, his breath stank. His back is too hairy. His mama ain't trained him right. You say all the things that you're thinking in your mind, right? And so usually your good girlfriend puts that in the vault. She don't say nothing. She's just like, girl, I understand. I'm here for you to vent. That's fine. And it never gets repeated. Well, these two fell out. And so now Miss Kate is like, let me tell you what she said. And I was like, speak, say more. So Kate gets up on the stand and she's like, well, one night Linda called me and said she was so sick of him and that she had a pew-pew and that she was about to pew-pew him up. She's like, give me one reason. Give me one good reason not to pop a cap in his behind. And Kate was like, girl, you should definitely not do that. You're not going to look good in jail. Imagine all your gorgeous hair in jail. And so Kate was like, I didn't know what to do. So I just called the police like, boop, 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 boop. Girl, hang on. Let me call you right back. Boop, boop. Hello, 911. You going to need to go over to her house because she about to unfortunately unalive this Mama Luke. And what you want from me? I'm not going to go over there and catch no lead in my behind. So can you please go help them out? And the police showed up and everything calmed down or whatever. And Linda was probably like, oh, thank you, girl, because I was this close to ending him. But apparently, during the course of their friendship, Miss Linda workshopped various ways to unfortunately unalive poor Todd. Yikes. She said, according to Kate, Linda was like, I could do him with a gun, or I could poison him, or I could run him over with my car, or I could set the house on fire. Here's the thing. She did all of those except for the gun. And so was she practicing in her mind? Was she like working it out? How long was she thinking about this? And then after the fire, everybody was feeling real sorry for Linda. Like, oh my goodness, she's a widow now. This is terrible. She's traumatized. And so she got on her phone. She probably didn't need the secret squirrel phone after he was dead. She was like, boop, boop. Linda, girl, hey, can you come over with me and help me shuffle through all this ash and debris? And Kate was like, girl, what? I don't go and burn down houses. No, thank you. Apparently, Miss Linda was like, no. I just need one thing. I need to see if I can get some fine jewels out of the house. And also, there's a cup in the dishwasher that has sedative in it. And I don't want the police to find it. So can you go with me? And Kay was like, I think I have to wash my hair. I got to cut my toenails. I got to, what? Oh, somebody's here. Let me go. Girl, your friend is dangerous. But here's the thing. Miss Kate was willing to keep her secrets. And I was like, okay, well, if she was willing to keep all of this homicidal ideation, what broke the friendship? Something tells me Miss Kate Fox is going to tell us every single thing. And yes, she did. So after the fire, Linda was like, girl, money is tight. I don't know what I'm going to do. He was a lazy bum who didn't work, who DV'd me and was a drug addict and all these terrible things. Oh, I need money. And so Kate had got in the mail something that was like a signature loan, right? If you would like $5,000, sign the back of this check and deposit it and then just make the payments. And so Kate, being a good girlfriend, was like, hey, I just got this thing in the mail that says I qualify for a $5,000 signature loan. And Linda was like, oh, pretty please, would you go ahead and get that $5,000 loan? And I promise to pay you back. And Kate, being a good girlfriend, was like, of course, I'm happy to help you out, poor widow woman. So she signs the back of this signature loan check, whatever it was, mails it in, and then the bills start coming because, she cashes the check and then gives all $5,000 to Linda, which is really generous and far more than I would ever do for a friend. Listen, I might gift you some money. I'm not loaning you money because then every time you got a new pair of shoes, I want to slit your throat. I mean, I'm going to be real mad about it. Anyway, so apparently when the bills would come to Kate's house, Kate would be like, here, girl, here's the bill for that signature loan. And then finally a bill comes that says final notice. So Kate wasn't even opening the bills. She opened it up and she's like, wait, what the what? This heifer has not paid one payment on this loan. Now my credit is jacked up because she's not making payments. What? So Kate goes and confronts Linda. And Linda opened her whole mouth and said, you never loaned me money. I don't know what you're talking about. How she didn't get all her hair snatched out in that moment, I will never know, because Miss Kate, while she seems like a very nice lady, she seemed like the snatching kind. You know what I mean? She might snatch you up if, your act right is not fully installed. So Kate was like, ooh, Jesus be offense. I'm about to take this heifer out. So they're at the bathroom, and Miss Kate was not trying to lose her good job. So she was like, girl, can I meet you in the bathroom? Linda, girl, never meet your enemy in the bathroom, because it's gonna go down. So they run into each other in the bathroom, and Kate cussed her up one side and down the other. They got into a big screaming fight in the ladies' room. Oh, trashy. Oh, I wish I would have been there. Do they have videotapes? Oh, they can't put videotapes in bathrooms. It's really, really too bad, because I would have wanted to see and hear that fight. I wish somebody had a transcript. But after that, they quit speaking to each other. And I was like, ooh, that was some good testimony. Miss Kate was salty. Oh, she was the saltiest witness so far. And I was like, oh, can we just have a full day of Miss Kate? Oh, I love Miss Kate. And then the state was like, but wait, there's more. I was like, state, y'all are doing the most. You have already convinced me that she done burned this man up and burned the house down and hit him with the pan and ran him over with the car. She about to be convicted. But if you have more, then I am willing to hear it. So then they were like, there was a jailhouse snitch. They gave the lady's name, but child, we just gonna call her Snitch. Snitch is no longer on this mortal coil. She passed away, poor thing. But they had the transcripts from a previous hearing, aka the first trial. And so they just had like a paralegal or whatever get up there. They was reading the parts back and forth. Apparently, after Miss Linda went to jail, she had loose lips. If bad judgment was a person, ma'am, you just keep on making bad decisions. But this is what you need to know. The jailhouse snitch was not in there for like a violent crime. She had like floated a check or had a bad check or something like that. And she didn't pay the fees associated with it. And then she didn't come forward till after all of her legal problems were cleared up. There was nothing for her to gain in giving this information. But she's like, well, if y'all here asking questions, then I'm here answering questions. Even though I don't really like the legal system like that, because they locked me up simply for floating a bad check. But okay, I'm trying to get my life right. And so according to the jailhouse snitch, Linda said she hit Todd on the head with a frying pan. I was like, oh, a frying pan, you say? Say more. And she told the jailhouse snitch that she set the fire. Girl, Linda, you failed all your shut up classes. You didn't even take like a primer. Do they have shut up Duolingo or something where you can shut up? No, you don't know nothing about that. Clearly you don't. Please hold. So the defense gets up and was like, now they're just reading from a transcript. But the previous defense attorney was like, hey, snitch. Hey, girl. Hey, listen, weren't you a narcotics enthusiast for like fun and cancer or whatever? Because the lady was just like a natural narcotics enthusiast. That was her favorite. And then sadly, she got cancer, and that's what she passed away from. But she was, at the time of her interview with the police, she was on narcotics from the cancer, which is very sad. But also, that's not going to make her remember a false memory or give details that she would not have otherwise had. So I'm like, okay, maybe she was on medication, but that don't mean she's lying. It might mean she got a little ticklish brain situation. I don't know. And then apparently the defense attorney was like, don't you suffer from stress, PTSD, depression, bipolar, and you got warts on your feet or something? They said she had every single thing known to man. And the lady was like, but I ain't make up that frying pan part. I was like, dang. And then at the end of the day, the state called one of Linda's sons. I was like, see, this is how you know they're wrapping up. They're going to close it out with the emotional heart of the case, the kids, because this is what you need to know. They bring like those loved ones either very first or very last. And when they bring them last, they want the jury to be left with like the mental image of the son sitting on the stand, weeping openly for their departed parent and looking at their trash bag mama like this. That's the heifer over there who did it. And so, according to the son, he was about 17 years old at the time of the fire. He's good and grown now, like 35. He heard his parents fighting the night before the fire, and they were fighting about the mother's affair. Linda girl, you in trouble. I hope you enjoyed prison when you were there the last time. Did you pick up some good prison habits and stuff? Because girl, you going back. I would feel sorry for you, but you're clearly an unfortunate unaliver. And we here at Gossip Rumor and Innuendo do not advocate for the unfortunate unaliving of others. So this trial rolls on today. You know I'm gonna be perched. Y'all. Oh, hang on. I just had one more thing to say, but that little amphibian got back in my throat. And that is, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.